Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchFever. Just when you thought it was safe to put the Switch down, the horror returns. That's right, we're back with part 2 of our countdown of the scariest, creepiest, and most unforgettable horror games you can play on NintendoSwitch in 2025. Whether you're a returning survivor from part 1 or just jumping in, this list is packed with fresh nightmares waiting to be discovered. So dim the screen, silence your phone, and get ready to face what lurks in the dark. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. You'll want to stay close when the lights go out.
My name is Teddy. Nice to meet you.
Among the Sleep, Enhanced Edition flips the horror perspective. Literally, by placing you in the tiny shoes of a 2-year-old child navigating a surreal and terrifying world. Now available on the Nintendo Switch, this psychological horror game redefines vulnerability, stripping away combat in favor of raw emotional tension and immersive storytelling. The game begins on what should be an ordinary night, until strange noises and a vanished mother send you crawling through dreamlike corridors and twisted versions of a once familiar home. Guided only by your living teddy bear, players explore eerie environments that reflect the fear and confusion of a child's mind. Instead of traditional monsters, Among the Sleep uses atmosphere, sound, and environmental storytelling to build dread. Shadows loom large, the furniture towers over you, and every creak feels like a threat. It's not about fighting your fears, it's about surviving them. The Enhanced Edition on Nintendo Switch includes improved visuals, developer commentary, and an extra level that expands the haunting backstory. Whether you're curled up in bed with headphones or playing on the go, Among the Sleep delivers a uniquely vulnerable and emotionally rich horror experience. Death Mark is a haunting visual novel and investigative horror experience that dives deep into the eerie world of Japanese urban legends, and it's available now on the Nintendo Switch. With its chilling atmosphere, unsettling art style, and deeply psychological narrative, this is a must-play for fans of slow burn, story-driven horror. You play as a mysterious amnesiac who wakes up in a dark mansion marked by a strange scar, known as the Death Mark. This curse is spreading across Tokyo, dooming its victims to a violent and unnatural death. With no memories and no time to waste, you must uncover the truth behind the curse, one terrifying case at a time. Each chapter in Death Mark presents a self-contained ghost story rooted in Japanese folklore. You'll explore creepy locations like haunted schools, abandoned hospitals, and forgotten shrines, solving puzzles and making critical decisions that can lead to salvation or death. Along the way, you're joined by other, marked, individuals, each with their own trauma and secrets. What sets Death Mark apart is its blend of atmospheric exploration, branching dialogue, and resource-based decisions during tense confrontations with spirits. One wrong choice, and your encounter could turn fatal. With its eerie soundtrack, detailed 2D artwork, and clever mix of mystery and horror, Death Mark on Nintendo Switch is perfect for players who enjoy narrative-heavy horror with a supernatural twist. Little Nightmares Complete Edition brings its haunting, dreamlike horror to the Nintendo Switch, blending eerie storytelling with puzzle platforming and stealth in a way that's as unsettling as it is beautiful. This critically acclaimed indie gem puts you in the tiny, trembling shoes of 6, a small child trapped in a grotesque underwater vessel known as the Maw, inhabited by monstrous beings that seem to have crawled out of a twisted fairy tale. From the very first step, Little Nightmares creates an overwhelming sense of vulnerability. You're unarmed, undersized, and constantly hunted. The game's side-scrolling environments are gorgeously grim, filled with disturbing details, environmental puzzles, and towering enemies whose grotesque forms are as terrifying as their intentions. The Complete Edition on Nintendo Switch includes the base game plus all DLC from the Secrets of the Maw expansion, where you'll also play as the runaway kid, uncovering deeper truths about this dark world from a different perspective. Whether docked or in handheld mode, the Switch version delivers the full atmospheric horror experience on the go. With its silent storytelling, oppressive sound design, and unforgettable visual style, Little Nightmares offers a creepy, emotionally resonant journey into childhood fears made flesh. It's not just a game, it's a nightmare you'll never forget.
We assure you there's no length he won't go to reach your every need. We have a vibrant kitchen, packed with the freshest produce served by our twin chefs, masters of experimental cuisine. And who could forget the heart of the moor itself, the residence, home to our mysterious host, the lady.
Resident Evil Zero returns to the Nintendo Switch, offering a terrifying journey back to the roots of the Resident Evil franchise. This prequel to the original classic delves deep into the origins of the outbreak at the heart of the series, exploring the events that led to the horrors of the Spencer Mansion and the infamous Umbrella Corporation. Set in the eerie, isolated surroundings of a derailed train and an abandoned mansion, players take control of Rebecca Chambers, a rookie member of the STARS Bravo team, and Billy Cohen, a former Marine convicted of murder. Together, they must unravel the mystery behind a bizarre outbreak and survive the deadly creatures lurking in the shadows. With an all-new partner system, you can seamlessly switch between characters at any time, each with unique abilities to help you solve puzzles and fend off terrifying enemies. The game's signature tank controls, fixed camera angles, and item management return, bringing back the classic survival horror experience, while the HD remaster on Nintendo Switch ensures the game looks better than ever, with updated visuals and smoother gameplay. The Switch version runs smoothly in both docked and handheld modes, giving you the ultimate flexibility to experience the fear whether you're at home or on the go. With its tense atmosphere, challenging puzzles, and relentless zombie hordes, Resident Evil Zero is a must-play for both newcomers and longtime fans of the franchise who want to experience the terrifying roots of the survival horror genre. Corpse Party. Blood Drive marks the chilling conclusion to the cult classic horror saga, and it's more terrifying than ever on the Nintendo Switch. Blending visual novel storytelling with third-person exploration, this gruesome entry plunges players back into the haunted halls of Heavenly Host Elementary, where the line between the living and the dead has all but disappeared. Set 2 months after the events of Corpse Party, Book of Shadows, Blood Drive follows Ayumi Shinozaki as she seeks to undo the unimaginable horrors unleashed by the Book of Shadows. This time, players must explore dark, maze-like environments in full 3D, using a flashlight to navigate blood-soaked corridors, uncover cursed objects, and evade deadly spirits lurking just beyond view. Unlike earlier entries, Blood Drive introduces stealth mechanics, item management, and real-time chase sequences, adding tension and urgency to the experience. Every creaking floorboard or sudden whisper could signal a ghostly encounter, and one wrong move can mean a gruesome end. With its expanded lore, voice-acted scenes, and brutally atmospheric presentation, Corpse Party. Blood Drive on Switch is a must-play for fans of Japanese horror, narrative-driven games, and anyone brave enough to reopen the doors of Heavenly Host one last time. Quick pause. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss what's next. Alright, let's get back to it. White Knight brings a haunting, atmospheric survival horror experience to the Nintendo Switch, where the shadows conceal not only danger but dark secrets that could drive you to madness. Set in a 1930s Art Deco mansion, this game focuses on psychological horror, where every step you take into the eerie and desolate environment leads you deeper into a web of mystery and terror. You play as a nameless man who, after his car crashes during a storm, finds himself seeking shelter in a grand but abandoned mansion. As you explore, you uncover the tragic story of a family cursed by their own dark past. The game is played entirely in black and white, a striking visual choice that not only creates a unique atmosphere but also reflects the stark moral dilemmas and horrific events the protagonist must face. The lack of color makes every flicker of light and creeping shadow that much more unnerving. Gameplay revolves around solving environmental puzzles, using limited light sources, like matches and lanterns, and navigating through the mansion's twisted corridors filled with creepy sounds and strange apparitions. Every decision matters, and you'll need to rely on your wits and the small glimpses of light to survive the increasingly sinister environment. The Switch version features smooth controls, making it easy to explore and interact with this dark, cinematic world in both handheld and docked modes. With its haunting atmosphere, challenging puzzles, and psychological storytelling,
Where am I?
White Knight offers a truly unsettling horror experience for fans of both classic survival horror and modern narrative-driven experiences. Outlast II takes the terrifying survival horror of the original game and cranks the fear factor up to an unbearable level, now available on NintendoSwitch. In this blood-soaked sequel, players are thrown into the middle of a nightmarish rural cult in the Arizona desert, where nothing is what it seems and danger lurks around every corner. You step into the shoes of Blake Langerman, a journalist investigating the mysterious disappearance of his wife, Lynn, who was last seen in a remote area with a cult. What starts as a simple investigation quickly spirals into a twisted journey through terror and insanity, as Blake and Lynn are hunted by a psychotic religious sect that views them as intruders in their apocalyptic vision. Gameplay in Outlast II follows the same first-person, stealth-driven formula that made the first game a standout hit. You'll navigate the terrifying environments armed only with your night vision camcorder, using it to light your way through dark and oppressive areas, while also recording important clues. Stealth and quick thinking are crucial, as the cult members and other horrifying entities are far too powerful to confront head-on. The Switch version features smooth gameplay both in handheld and docked modes, providing the perfect portable horror experience. With its haunting atmosphere, disturbing visuals, and gut-wrenching moments, Outlast 2 continues to push the boundaries of psychological horror, leaving you questioning your sanity long after you put the game down. Prepare for a heart-pounding ride through darkness and madness. Outlast 2 is not for the faint of heart. Alisa. Developers' Cut brings retro survival horror back from the grave, with style, precision, and plenty of unsettling charm. Now available on the Nintendo Switch, this enhanced version reintroduces players to a nightmarish dollhouse world inspired by late 90s classics like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. You play as Alisa, an elite royal agent who wakes up in a strange, unfamiliar mansion after a mission goes horribly wrong. Armed with old-school weapons and limited resources, you'll need to explore eerie, handcrafted environments filled with clockwork creatures, haunted toys, and other grotesque oddities. The fixed camera angles, tank controls, and inventory management evoke the golden age of survival horror, offering a deliberately nostalgic challenge that rewards careful planning and nerves of steel. Alisa. Developers' Cut adds new content, refined controls, and quality of life improvements without sacrificing the game's unique retro soul. On the Switch, it runs smoothly in both handheld and docked modes, making it the perfect portable nightmare for fans of the genre. With its bizarre atmosphere, stylized visuals, and faithful homage to horror's pixelated past, Alisa is a must-play for anyone craving a classic scare in modern form.
Your strength that has survived so far is certainly an obstacle.
You are here to take my throne, aren't you?
Oh, my little door. It's time to accept what you've become.
Dead by Daylight brings multiplayer horror to the Nintendo Switch with a terrifying twist. You can either be the hunter or the hunted. This asymmetrical survival game pits 4 survivors against one relentless killer in a deadly game of cat and mouse. It's tense, fast-paced, and packed with iconic horror crossovers that fans won't want to miss. On Switch, you can experience the full dread of trying to repair generators and escape the killer, whether you're playing solo or with friends. The tension is constant, and the learning curve is steep, but the adrenaline rush is unmatched. Survivors must work together using stealth, teamwork, and quick thinking, while killers use brutal abilities to hunt each one down before they can escape. What makes Dead by Daylight especially thrilling is its massive lineup of horror DLCs. From the terrifying nurses and twisted halls of Silent Hill, to Resident Evil's Raccoon City and the nightmarish traps of Saw, the game is a living museum of horror history. You can play as or run from legendary characters like Pyramid Head, Nemesis, Ghostface, and many more. Whether you're a horror veteran or just looking to get scared with friends, Dead by Daylight on Nintendo Switch delivers a portable, ever-evolving nightmare that never plays the same way twice. Fatal Frame. Maiden of Black Water resurrects one of Japan's most iconic horror franchises. Now on the Nintendo Switch with enhanced visuals and updated controls. Originally released on the Wii U, this entry marks a terrifying return to the series' signature blend of ghostly encounters, slow-burning dread, and supernatural mystery. Set on Mount Hakami, a place steeped in death, sorrow, and ritualistic tragedy, you'll follow three interconnected protagonists as they investigate disappearances linked to the mountain's haunted past. But instead of guns or weapons, your only defense is the camera obscura, an antique camera that can capture and exorcise spirits. The closer the ghost, the stronger the shock. If you're brave enough to wait, Maiden of Black Water shines in its ability to build a heavy, oppressive atmosphere. Wet, decaying environments, mournful ghosts, and slow, deliberate pacing make every encounter tense and unsettling. The game masterfully mixes exploration, puzzle solving, and real-time ghost battles that rely on positioning, timing, and a steady hand. The Switch version features improved graphics, new costumes, and updated controls for both handheld and docked play. It's a faithful remaster that brings the horror of Mount Hakami to a new audience, whether you're revisiting the series or experiencing it for the first time. With its unique combat system, deeply eerie lore, and unforgettable visuals, Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water is essential for fans of supernatural horror.
濡れガラスの巫女。フォトモードやコスチュームを追加して2021年発売予定。